Let me ask you a question. How do you view you and your life? Do you view life, let's say, like a boat bobbing up on the ocean? It's just sort of bobbing randomly from pillar to post, as it were, from port to port, at the mercy of the seas and the winds and the gales and this sort of thing, and the rain and the lightning. It's just at the mercy of everything. When you're bobbing along, and sometimes perhaps you have some nice feelings on this boat and some beautiful scenery and some wonderful happenings. Perhaps you see the dolphins diving and this, that and the other. And other times, you're hanging on to the gunwales and the boat is rocking, and any minute it could go down and under, and you feel frightened by circumstances. Is that your life? Or maybe your life is more that actually this boat is not quite so randomly bobbing about, that that perhaps you've managed through, I don't know, education or what have you, through knowledge, through observation, through perhaps circumstances, perhaps having a bit of money, that this boat is not quite so randomly on the ocean, that actually you've got a motor, an engine, and you can steer this boat and you can see the forecasts, and perhaps you've got some internal knowledge. Perhaps people are ringing you up on the boat and saying, guide the boat to the left because you'll miss certain storms, and go to the right. Maybe that's your life, and that you can get to the ports and have shelter. Maybe that's your life. Is that you? Or do you see life more that you're on the boat bobbing up and down at the sort of mercy of everything, except that you're not really, because there's a mysterious invisible hand that seems to be guiding your life, taking this boat to this port, to that port, to avoiding a storm, or even pushing it into the storm deliberately so that you experience things. Is that more how you would interpret your life if you were using this metaphor of a boat? Would you think that there is a mysterious hand, and perhaps this mysterious hand, if it's, let's say, given attention, if it's acknowledged that there's a mysterious hand, and perhaps if you ask the mysterious invisible hand, would you mind taking me in this direction, or would you mind taking me in that direction, that the mysterious invisible hand would do it. And maybe if you pray to this mysterious invisible hand, that it will be perhaps more obedient to you, or more favourable to you. Would you say that is your life? But I wonder if there's not another one, another version, that instead of the boat bobbing up and down on the ocean, that you're not the boat bobbing up and down, but in fact you are the ocean with a boat bobbing up and down on it. That actually you are the ocean that's already in all the ports. That the boat really is just something for you to occupy yourself with, as it were. Does that make any sense to you? So let me give you my reasoning then. If you were the ocean, and not the boat, what would that mean? Would that mean, or are you the invisible hand that moves the boat on the ocean? Are you ineffectively the thing, the one, the creator, the God, if you like? Are you God itself? Now, the reason I ask that, and I know I've come sort of in a roundabout way to try and get to this, it's just that everything we're told when we go to school and when we meet people and by authority figures and everything else, that everything's external. We're always told it's external from us, aren't we? That life is out there. It's always out there. We have to pay our taxes to something out there. We have businesses. out there. We have friends and family. It's all out there somewhere. And we have a fixed life that begins at naught and ends, well, we don't know exactly when, but it's a fixed term, and it's sort of out of our hands. Everything's external. It's all sort of haphazard, isn't it? And there are external forces that are preying on us all the time. And we, some people are luckier than others because they were born with a silver spoon, and others were unlucky because they were born with nothing. And it's all a bit haphazard, and it's out there. And yet then there's a smaller faction of people who will say to you, no, it's not all out there. It's actually in. We've got to look in. Spiritualistic people will say, well, you've got to look inside you. That's where it is. That's where it's all happening. You've got to get inside, because when you're inside you, you can connect. You can connect to the one, as it were, your higher self. And somehow you get this sort of special magic membership. And you can flash your card. You can park anywhere you like now, and you can plug in to the whatever it is. You can plug in somehow and get these downloads. You can access the Akashic records, whatever it's called. You can have almost special privileges if you go in, and all of this leave the external and go in. And that's all very exciting, isn't it? And then I wonder to myself, is there not another way of looking at this? Going back to the ocean, this fourth way, where the ocean is everywhere. And maybe you are the ocean itself, not the boat. And maybe you don't need to go, you kind of go inside, but you are effectively the one, the God, the everything. Because let me put it this way. Everything out here, everything, you looking at me, the world that I apparently are in, the bookcases that are surrounding me, the chair I'm sitting on, everything, I can't actually reach, I can't touch, not without an interpreter. So I've got my pipe, and I can smoke my pipe, and if you've seen me smoke my pipe, and I can enjoy it. But I can't actually get to it. I, the me, the I am, I can't get to it. I need an interpreter. I need the senses, don't I? I need, everything I touch, I have to have the sense of touch. It isn't really me touching it. I have to use this interpreter to get it. Everything I see, it's a sense of seeing. I'm not really seeing it. I'm having these electrical impulses somewhere, they say to the brain or to wherever it is. And so I'm not actually seeing it myself. Plus the fact everything's upside down and inverted, because the eye is, the way it does its thing, the optics. Everything I hear goes through the eardrum and what have you, and then it's interpreted into something. And it seems to be with all the senses, all 5 senses, and maybe the other senses, the inspirational sense, or the pineal gland sense, or senses that we're not aware of, that sort of thing. I can't get to it. And I remember reading a book back in the 1970s, I think it was, or 1980s, when I was a very young man, something along the lines of The Quest for the Higher Self by Paul Brunton. I remember it very clearly. My dad had it on his shelf, and I read it. And he said, you just never can get to it. You can see it, you can feel it, you can touch it, but you can't actually get with it, because you have to use these interpreters, these senses. And so therefore, it's all fake, because it's all just an electric impulse. Now, I don't know for sure that anything else exists. There's very many times, and I think, do you know what, I'm the only one. I'm the only thing. Now, that sounds incredibly arrogant, doesn't it, and flippant. But I don't know whether you feel that. You just sit there and think, I'm the only one, because I'm the only thing, this consciousness is the only thing that's peering out of my eyes and listening to things. I don't know that all of this, it really exists. And of course we come back to that metaphor of a brain in a jar being fed, everything, or the Matrix type thing, that we're in this dream reality. And there is that sense on occasions, is very often that sense that this is just a dream and reality, and it's out of my control. But is it out of your control? And that's the bit that I really am trying to sort of get to in this monologue, is that maybe we are the only thing, that we're told that, you know, God, the universe, the one, the creator is out there somewhere, and we can plug into it. We have this special membership card if we understand that. But maybe that's not really true. Maybe actually we are the one itself, just so we don't know it. Just so we don't know it. We have this little ego of us, you know, like a puppet, like we're the puppet, that the hand of God, if you like, is up our jacket, not jacksy, up our jacket, manipulating us, giving us a certain amount of free will, but actually we are the one, the creator. And if that is true, can we not change this creation that's here? You know, people talk about manifestation and things, and manifesting those things that we would like. But also, could we not manifest a new creation on this, whatever it is, the earth, the plane, the world, whatever you deem it to be? If we are the ultimate creator of everything, is it not within our remit then to be able to change what we see and do? And if it's not just me alone in this strange world in which I feel that there's all this happening, but I can't experience anybody else's point of view other than sympathetically or hypothetically, or by putting myself into their shoes, you know, imaginatively, if actually you exist, then if we all exist but we're all part and parcel of the same, can we not collectively change and get rid of the dark forces, get rid of all the nasties? Because if we can, maybe that is a power that we have and they don't want us to know, which is why we've been indoctrinated with all this stuff about everything being external. What do you think? Or have I really lost it? And am I just talking absolute rubbish? I'll let you decide. Thank you for watching.